All right. Hello and welcome to Old People This Week. My name is Jeff, and those two retrobates, that's Mike, who, as you know, spent time his formative years in San Quentin.
Absolutely.
And absolutely. And
36911.
and Paul, formerly a resident of Rikers Island off of near New York
212,
City.
baby. 212.
1, 2. We are your hosts. Old People This Week is for super smart people over 60 years of age. But if you're under 60 and stumbled in here, stick around. You can learn something from the three wizards that you're looking at. Okay, we, Mike, Paul, and I fear for anyone who's not a boomer because the internet has rotted everyone else's brains. All the generations after us haven't learned how to talk to people. They don't know how to date. They drive around in cars with no drivers. They spend all day watching truly whacked out videos like this. Somebody, one of you two geniuses, explain that video to me.
I don't get it. I mean, obviously somebody's incredibly talented, but what's the point? Unless they're selling it for some ungodly amount of money in some market we don't know about, it's wasted time and effort.
No, it's for a private audience of some sort. I really do believe it's some sort of code.
Code?
Yeah. It's like,
Oh my God.
it's so good, right? We all know it's good. I mean, it could be a whole series unto itself, but, it's just random. I mean,
It's random.
Disney or some other animation center ought to hire them. I mean,
Yeah. No,
they're clearly very good. But
anyway, that's what these people who are born after us are spending all their time doing. So
Yeah,
have
great.
at it.
great.
All right. We got a comment last week. It was from a guy named Dave, and he said, "Damn, I love me some accordion," because they saw Paul playing the accordion in that
I
video.
love it.
He said, "My uncle, who died during World War II, played accordion. By the way, my uncle was a paratrooper in the Luftwaffe. You know what that is?"
Oh my God, the German Air Force.
Yeah. So, but first of all, this guy had an uncle. And then I stared at this thing, and all of a sudden, I know who this guy is. I
Really?
know him. And here's the story. Dave, he's a friend from my little town in Ohio. His dad's name was Don. Don served in the Army World War II, and just after the war ended, he was assigned to Germany to be in the occupation army.
Wow.
And while he was serving in Germany, he met a woman named Annalise. They got married, came back. She was a war bride. They have Dave, and they had his sister Barbara. But that's where, and Dave, by the way, is the coolest dude in the world. He's got hair, way more hair than me, and I have great hair. And he's got it in a ponytail, and he drives a Harley. He's just a cool dude.
And did you see you had great hair? You thought you'd slide that one by us? That's frightening. No.
But anyway, that's how this whole thing goes back to the Luftwaffe, because his mom's brother was in the German army in World War II. Okay, do you guys see this? This is the news story of that. It's incredible what happened on Saturday. Take a look at this video. All right, there's a lot to unpack here, and first of all, if it wasn't such a tragedy, I would just be goofing on this thing because it's ridiculous. But people, died. I mean, there was a lot of injuries. But I don't understand. First of all, what is the Mexican? It said in this news report, it said 2 people died, more than a dozen were hurt when a Mexican Navy training ship. What the hell? What is the Mexican Navy, anyways? And what are they training on? Something with sails for?
On a 3-masted sailor. I mean, they're.
And then, if you are the captain of a giant sailing ship, you would think the one job you had was to make sure that it's going to fit underneath that bridge.
Clear the bridge. Yeah.
Well,
Allegedly, something happened mechanically that he lost control.
And then I don't understand then the mayor of New York gets out there and says that there were 277 people on that thing.
Did you see the picture of it when it first approached the harbor? There's a sailor standing like every 2 feet on the yard arms,
yeah.
all the way up the mast. I mean, there were like hundreds of crew members standing on the masts
Yeah.
as the damn thing sailed.
Yeah, as they slowly see themselves slay. By the way, the ship's going backwards at that one point.
I just wonder what naval skills do the Mexican Navy,
Not much.
members of the Mexican Navy, learn on a sailing ship?
My
Jesus.
God.
All
This
right.
thing was a
Stupid.
All right, I got personal news that supersedes anything that the Mexican Navy's doing. I read Uptown Girl by Christy Brinkley, put out there, and it was terrible. I hated it. She spent way too much time talking about that idiot Billy Joel, who I don't like, and she's clearly still in love with him. So I'm over her. I'm done. I've decided to move on, find me another crush.
About damn time. Jeez.
And here's my short list of women, and I'm going to let you guys weigh in on what
Well,
you
this
think
is
of
going to
these
be
three.
terrifying.
First one is Kim Basinger, who I think is both crazy and beautiful, and that's a good thing
Yeah,
sometimes.
not bad. That's not bad.
What about this? What about Anna Wintour? She's
Oh,
an
please.
8 out of 10.
Oh, please. Are you kidding? She's the meanest, nastiest, most unattractive. Oh, my God.
That's what I like about her.
You know what? If you dated Anna Wintour, your hair would stand up like that.
She and I would be quite the pair. You'd see me at fashion shows in the front row, checking things out,
Dream
What
going
a-
around with her to restaurants and
Dream
having
on.
fun all over New York City with Anna.
Yeah.
So Kim and Anna. Or what do you guys think about Stevie Nicks?
A little chubby now.
Oh my God, you're tough. Yeah, she doesn't look like she did 30 years ago, but she's still Stevie Nicks. By the way, she and I can sing together, go on tour together. You
No,
can
no.
go your own way,
No.
go
I
your
honestly
own
thought you were
way.
gonna
No,
sound like
no,
it.
no,
You can call it
There
thunder.
you go again, confusing bobbing your head with singing.
Okay, boys. So last week I was giving you both crap because I wanted the three of us to team up for that relay race that takes place every year, the super secret one that goes from Santa Monica Pier to the Vegas sign. But then I found out that, for example, Mike can't run 20 feet without collapsing, and I didn't want to be picking him up and put him in a wheelbarrow or something and have to push him all the way to Vegas.
Once you get your little artificial ankle fixed, we'll have a race for a case of good Merlot or something.
Once you get that hip of yours will fall off. And Paul isn't much better. Paul can go, he said, a quarter mile maybe, or 250 yards, something like that. But then that's not what I need. I need an athlete. So I asked that Jeannie Rice, the one I reported on, who's 77 years old. She just ran the Boston Marathon. She's breaking age group records every day. She's a hell of an athlete and better looking than the both of you. So she's going to join my team.
Good.
But
You should add hers, your heartthrob. She's better looking than Anna Wintour.
maybe you're right. But that doesn't mean I'm giving up on you two. I looked all over the internet, searched like a fool to find a race that you two could be involved in, and I found one.
Here we
And it's
go.
in South Carolina, Paul, which is perfect for you.
Perfect.
The resort that it's at, it says it's already has a record 161 people signed up to run its annual 5K with a unusual twist. It's clothing optional.
Oh, good. Wonderful.
In South Carolina.
Naked Mike running around.
Your equipment slapping against your thigh as you're beating it towards the finish line.
All right, that's enough. It's at the place, Paul, called the Carolina Foothills Resort, a nudist resort in Spartanburg County. Signed you two up, so get ready. Paul, you won't have to go very far, but Mike will arrange for you to have a wheelchair, put you on a plane, and get you to Spartanburg. All right, more celebrity news.
Okay.
You guys ready? Ozempic mouth. None of us have Ozempic mouth because none of us take Ozempic.
Take Ozempic.
Yeah. But because there's not enough Ozempic in the world, Mike, to get rid of those jowls of yours.
Listen, this is perfect
It would
genetic perfection at work here.
God.
Look at this. Magnificent.
Ozempic mouth, a shocking new side effect of the weight loss drug seen in some celebs, according to page 6. Many users of Ozempic who I know report noticeable volume loss in the face, which can result in the formation of fine lines, wrinkles, sagging skin, and jowls around the mouth. Maybe Mike is taking it. Ozempic.
This is tight as a drum right here.
Yeah. The volume loss can also worsen the appearance of the existing fine line wrinkles and skin laxity, contributing to a more aged smile and overall look. You can tell that I have a youthful look.
Yeah, except for that turkey neck.
Yeah, I know it. I could,
Man, that's
I could do
frightening.
something about that.
Yeah, that'd hold water when you're standing up.
And then to top it off, they didn't just write this article, they named who the 3 celebrity women are.
Great.
And they put the picture in there that I'm going to show. So this is allegedly, though, mind you. We're not accusing anybody of anything. But the first one is Sharon Osbourne,
She's scary anyway.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Please.
Please, you don't like Whoopi. You don't watch
not
The
at
View
all.
every day, Mike?
Oh, please. Are you kidding? God almighty. Spare me Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg.
And the last woman on the Ozempic list is Rebel Wilson. You know her? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's good. But she has a little bit of an Ozempic thing going on. So, next thing, of course, is this wouldn't be the famous Old People This Week podcast without a mention of our favorite old fool, Bill Belichick. Now he feels he's compelled to tell us what role Jordan Hudson, his 24-year-old girlfriend, actually plays in his life. So he goes on to a podcast, of course. He won't come on this podcast. We'd be telling him what to do. Have an intervention. Maybe break those two up before he completely loses all his money
Yeah.
in those Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
He said that Hudson helps him schedule what he describes as, quote unquote, personal opportunities, such as media interviews or speaking arrangements. He doesn't need that
No.
bird to do that.
No, just answer the phone and say yes.
Also said that Hudson gave him tips on things to exclude or include in his book, such as removing technical terms from certain chapters. Technical terms. And dedicating page numbers to certain players and family members. What the hell?
Oh, man. Turn to page Gronk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Gronk.
When,
Oh, my God. I have an update, though, a great update on Wally the Alligator. Mike, you sent me a story on Wally the Alligator. And by the way, if you had read the story before you sent it to me, it was from 2022.
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't see it. At first, I'm reading the thing thinking there was a big update on Wally. So for all of you who are watching this, Mike and I reported a year or so ago about this guy. His name is Joey, and he's an older man, and he had a tragedy in his life, and he was grieving, so he got a support animal. Only the support animal he chose is a freaking alligator. And he started going around, carrying it around, and then he becomes a minor celebrity, and of course he starts an Instagram and TikTok page, and of course he becomes this big thing. Well, Joey made a little mistake. He brought Wally with him down to a friend's house in another
Friend's house.
state. Yeah. And for some reason, he left Wally out in the front yard while he's visiting with his friend. Maybe the friend wouldn't let Wally in the house. And Wally gets stolen by these pranksters. And they take Wally, and their idea is they're going to put it into the front yard of one of their friends to scare him. Well, the dude who's supposedly going to get scared, all he does is, well, he got scared, and he called Animal Services.
Yeah.
They came and got Wally, threw him in the back of a truck, and then brought him out to a swamp somewhere and tossed him in. So the next thing Joey knows is that his beloved Wally, who's probably making money now on Instagram and TikTok for him, is gone. And here's the report from here's the report directly. Excuse me, God. What replace you with Wally the
Yeah.
support? He doesn't cough so much. Here's the direct report from Joey, who's going to tell you what's going on.
Hello, I'm Joe Henney. I'm Wally's dad. We're still trying to find Wally. We've not had any luck finding him. We do know who relocated him, but he's not giving up any information, and legally he doesn't have to. I also found out from DNR today that if I even see Wally, I am not allowed to pick him up and take him with me. If I get caught, I will be arrested and have a fine. So that's kind of where we're standing now. I just wish I had better news. I'm not very happy about this situation now. It's not right. It's not fair.
Oh, so at any rate, Wally is now, Joey is now beside himself. He doesn't have Wally anymore. He doesn't know what he's doing with his life. And so I went to find out what's going on. I went to the Facebook page, Wally's Facebook page, and this is what it said. For those of you who are on this page and the Wally ESA page, Joey's account was hacked, and they took over the page and banned the administrators and moderators. So this guy has nothing but bad luck.
He's terrible.
Facebook page hacked.
Oh, and the poor alligator
I was going to say.
didn't survive more than one day in the
I was
wild.
going to say the wild of Florida.
No, because he used
He
to
was-
stick his hand in and massage his tongue and said he would never
exactly.
bite down. He didn't know how to eat or bite. I mean, it was crazy. It was
It's
like,
the only alligator in the swamp that's wearing one of those red support vests, though.
Yes, exactly.
That's swimming around. The other alligators are going, what the
they're going,
hell?
what is it? Where'd you get that coat?
That Wally better learn how to bite and stuff. Otherwise, he's going to be,
No, he's history.
he's inside of some other alligator. All right. All right, here's the big story of the week. A woman lived with the remains of a 600-pound
Spit it out.
That's our old word. A woman lived with the
Mummified.
remains of her 600-pound mummified son for 9 months.
Jesus Christ. I want to run screaming from the room right now.
A New Orleans woman is under investigation after authorities learned she'd been living in her Lakeview home with the remains of her 600-pound mummified son for 9 months.
How long would
she-
it take 600 pounds to mummify? Jesus.
The residents, so they finally, her neighbors are saying, oh, there's something stinking over there. So the cops show up, and her residence was reportedly filled with garbage, chickens, roosters, and rats.
Jesus. Hackman's
like
Revisited.
This is like the house of Gene Hackman's house,
Yeah,
too,
it's-
by the way.
God.
When these code enforcement officers finally showed up to poke around, they arrived at the home and inquired about the rotting dead body that they found.
Oh, by the way, can you tell me what that is on the sofa?
Yeah, what's that 600-pound thing on the sofa next to the rats and the roosters and everything else? And she said, "That's my son. He died about 9 months ago."
So she admits he died 9 months ago, and he's just been hanging out.
Sitting there.
No, the best part of the story is this woman used to be a doctor.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. But she got
Retired
crazy.
doctor.
They actually described her as mentally disabled elderly woman. Much like.
That's just so bad.
There's some voodoo going on there.
It's become the new attraction down in New Orleans.
Yeah.
You go down there, go to Beale Street, or no, not Beale Street. Go to what street is that in New Orleans? What's the name of the famous street? Bourbon Street. You guys are
French Quarter.
so slow on the uptake.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. Anyways, you go down to New Orleans now, and instead of visiting Bourbon Street, you can go out to this house and see what's going on with that mummified body. How do you get a 600-pound body out of there, anyways?
Jesus. He just left it there, probably.
Just burn the house down.
Yeah.
Somehow I just don't think it's still 600 pounds 9 months later, but
Yeah, I don't think so.
Worse. It's bloated with gas and everything. Oh my God.
That's
that's enough. Moving on.
Okay. Well, anyway, this whole, all this stuff that we were talking about the poor, pathetic generations after us has got me worried. So I decided to make another announcement. It's the Old People This Week hotline. Okay. Here's the phone number. I'm going to put it up as I'm saying it. 310-800-1830. 310. It's generally associated with LA.
LA.
800-1830. It's a good phone number. And Mike, Paul, and I are on duty at the other end of that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to take your call. So you Gen Xers, millennials, Gen Zers, you have a problem, you need advice, like how to talk to a person or of the other sex in a bar, or you've forgotten how to write your name in cursive, or if you're hooked on caffeinated energy drinks, you can talk to one of us and we'll tell you what to do.
Yeah. And if we're busy, leave a message and we'll get back to you.
No, got to be on duty all the time. That means, Mike, I'll give you the early shift because you go to bed early. You can do it from.
Yeah. I'll work from 6 to 8 p.m. That's my limit.
Oh. Jeez. But anyway, if you get me on the phone, you get some good advice, by the way.
You get some cranky old shit is what you'll get.
What else did I want to say? Oh, I know. This woman, a 28-year-old teacher from Florida. She drank up to 3 energy drinks a day, worked out every day, and was, supposedly the most healthy person in this whole community. And guess what? She died of a heart attack.
Yeah, her heart exploded from all that shit she was drinking. Wonderful.
Yeah. Her mother, her name is Katie Dono. Her mother, Lori Brannanon, called the drinks deadly and harmful and blamed them, along with caffeine supplements, for her daughter's death.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You want to be a good-looking corpse?
Do you take those do you drink those drinks, Mike? Monster and all those things?
No, hell no.
You don't have one in the morning so you can get your old ass out of bed and get to work?
Nope. Orange juice, raspberry, and blueberry smoothie in the blender every morning.
No coffee?
No coffee.
What about you, Paul? What do you do?
Coffee. Cups coffee. OJ.
You're old school. Me too. Just black coffee. Don't even mess around with anything. I get up, I get my black coffee, I go around goofing around, doing my work around the house with one leg, and then I go, lay around the rest of the day. Okay. And then the disturbing news about Justin Bieber. He sold his music catalog for $200 million, which sounds like a lot of scratch, but the experts are saying it was sort of a fire sale because poor old Justin did it because he was running out of cash.
Really?
Yeah. He just needed the money and he went for it.
He'll piss through that $200 million in no time.
He started. This was actually a year or so old story.
Yeah.
So it got me to thinking, how much is the Whiz Bang music catalog worth? 50 cents?
Million.
Right.
I'm hanging on to it till the very last minute.
Enough to get you the early bird special at Denny's.
I'll
The
take
moon
you.
moon over my hammy.
You can order whatever you want. Name me one song Justin Bieber did.
I don't know. I thought the way after our time. Who knows? I'm gonna have to put something up here of Justin Bieber singing now, just to
Yeah,
prove
please
that we
don't.
know what it is.
Please don't.
Now here's another guy who's gonna have a little problem selling his catalog, and he goes by the name of P. Diddy.
Oops.
Ooh. Have you been following this trial?
What a mess.
Yeah.
There are
Cassie-
a bunch of guys, by the way, holding their breath that shit doesn't come out during the testimony in this trial.
This whole started with him. There was that video of him.
Beating up that woman at the elevator in the hotel. Yeah.
Yeah. Her name is Cassie Ventura, and she said during her testimony this past week that video was prompted because she was trying to get out of his room because he was doing one of his freak offs. In my lifetime, I could barely convince a girl to come to my dorm room, let alone freak offs. You gotta have money.
God only knows how much drugs and money and booze was at play, though.
Oh.
There's some weird shit going on.
The stories this week, if they're to be believed, are nuts. they're by this Cassie, who was on the stand for 4 days,
Yeah.
and then cross-examined, and then there was a friend of hers and a former bodyguard of Diddy and a former chef of Diddy, and they all tell these crazy stories and parties, drugs, nuts,
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, and they all think they're, at that point, he thought he was bulletproof.
Rich people think they're bulletproof. They think the money is going to protect them no matter what.
Yeah.
Like that Jeffrey Epstein, so rich, lives this larger than life, and then, here comes the judge.
Yeah. No, they never even think about consequences. I mean, it's like, it's just what they do. And
I think he was shocked that he got arrested, and then there was the battle over trying to get him bail, and judges said, no, you're on bail, you'll probably run, or you'll intimidate the witnesses, and yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. And then there was the more to this story was Combs brought Britney Spears to her 21st birthday celebration, where the fallen music mogul made his first move on Cassie. All these people are involved. You're right. It's crazy.
yeah.
All right, freak offs. I don't know what a freak off is. Okay, Paul, you're up, dude. What's going on in the friendly skies of Paul C?
So they got the Spanish government issued a final report for a 2024 Lufthansa flight, in which it was reported that the flight spent 10 minutes with no pilot at the controls when the first officer collapsed while the captain was in the restroom.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to stop for a minute. Mike, you having a hard time hearing him?
Yeah, very hard.
Mike, Paul, on your thing, turn up the volume.
How's that?
No.
No, not much better.
Let's see.
Take your time.
Test.
Too low.
No, it's way down. Your volume's way down.
No, there's nothing. That's the way we like him. Why don't you sign off and try signing back on again?
Actually, Paul, on my screen, I'm seeing a line through the little microphone icon.
I am too.
Now the mute's on.
You'll never find another love like mine.
Quick, Paul, hurry.
Hurry before I get to the second verse.
Let me dump out of this so I'll come back.
Okay.
There you go.
Hello. Okay. Yeah, I had to dump out of the record. Okay.
Okay. And now, of course, it's Paul with the latest news,
Yeah.
latest aviation news, latest aviation disaster.
Well, everything is going on in the world today in the aviation business, but this is a final report that was issued from a 2024 Lufthansa flight, and it has to do with a flight being sort of left with no pilot and no first officer for 10 minutes. It turns out that the first officer had gone to the restroom, and that the pilot, or rather the other way around, the captain got to the restroom, and the first officer had fainted.
The pilot had to struggle to get back in the cockpit.
Yeah, and then they wrote as though it was fortunate that he woke up from being out cold and opened the door. But even that's a little bit suspect, because there actually is a code that the pilots know to get back in on the flight deck. So it's not something that generally is, not spoken. But, not to have anyone up there who's, flying, that's...
Mayday.
Yeah, this is the beginning of like a movie of the week or something, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. All right. That's a good one, though. But that is another reason why I don't fly anywhere.
No, I'm driving everywhere now.
I don't know how you're getting to Europe, Paul. I hope you're taking a boat. All right, Mike, it's time for Via Con Dios. So what's going on with Ruth Buzzy anyways?
Not much. That's the old Karen Carpenter joke.
Yeah.
What would she be doing if she was alive today? Scratching the lid of the coffin.
haven't heard that one in a long time.
All right, so this is show business heavy
Oh,
for you
okay.
guys. So this will be a little acuity test for your memory here. The first is Charles Strauss wrote the theme for All in the Family. Those Were the Days. Wrote Bye Bye Birdie. Scored the movie or the play Annie and the song Tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next. I
Yeah,
don't know
Jeff,
who that is.
Jeff's like not going to break into song yet.
Who cares?
Joan O'Brien, somebody, Jeff, you dated when you were younger.
Joan O'Brien?
Joan O'Brien, 89 years old. She was a famous actress in the 60s.
No, she wasn't. I've ever heard of Joan O'Brien. Paul, have you ever heard of Joan
No,
O'Brien?
before my time.
Oh.
Starred in Operation Petticoat,
Oh, yeah, there's a big.
and it happened at the World's Fair. Joey, your all-time favorite.
Honestly, no one has ever heard of her. I'm probably going to have to suffer trying to find a picture of her.
Okay, here's one that I'll be disappointed if you don't appreciate this. Robert Benton, 92 years old, screenwriter and director of Bonnie and Clyde,
Right. Yes.
Kramer versus
Okay.
Kramer, and Superman.
Yep.
Yeah, Benton was a great director. Bonnie and Clyde, all time, freaking great movie with Beatty and Dunaway. What a great
Yeah,
flick.
yeah, absolutely great.
All right, Benton. All right,
Okay.
at least we know who he is. Next.
And now here, catering to your more questionable pursuits, Terry Brunk, 60 years old, better known as Sabu,
Sabu.
pioneered hardcore wrestling with the Extreme Championship Wrestling show.
Sabu.
Sabu.
And then
I never
finally,
heard of Sabu. I heard of Shamu, though.
No,
I heard of
Sabu.
Shamu, the killer whale.
Sabu, jumping off the corner post, crushing his opponents.
Sabu.
Nope.
All right, what
And
else?
then finally, the woman you almost proposed to, Denise Alexander, 85 years old, passed away.
General Hospital.
Longtime star of
General Hospital fame. There you go.
More than 1,000 episodes, including the final.
Yeah, that's a long career.
That's a long career.
1,000 episodes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who cares? All right, next. Let's move on out of that. Once more, Mike, you found more obscure people.
Good job.
There had to be somebody.
That's it.
This guy named Larry Johnson. He thought he was doing everything right in his life. He's an Atlanta father. He had a clean driving record, a rising credit score, and a practical tool to monitor his family that he used to keep track of where his family was all day. And the app is called Life 360. It's a popular location tracking app marketed to families for safety and peace of mind. So this dude thinks he's got it all together. Well, he goes shopping for car insurance, and these car insurance places are giving him these quotes that are really high. And to him, it wasn't adding up. He's a safe driver, no accidents. So one insurance agent told him that he had a quote-unquote low insurance score. So he starts to do some digging to see how he got a low insurance score, and he finds out that Life 360, this app, was selling his information. Meaning so that instead of it being a help, not only a guide to where the family is, it's tracking where he's going and what kind of driver that he may be, depending on where he's at or where he's going. And then they sell it.
Yeah.
Life 360 sells it to other insurance agents.
And then they use that data to determine how much they're going to charge you based on the risk level.
Yeah. So a lawsuit filed by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton reveals that a data broker, by the way, called Arity, A-R-I-T-Y, a subsidiary of Allstate Insurance,
Of course.
Beautiful.
it embedded tracking software into apps like Life 360 and Gas Buddy. So without telling us, the consumer,
Yeah.
that what's in these apps, there is embedded tracking software. So Mike, now I can go on Life 360 and see where you're spending all your day.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Driving around, going up,
Bring some golf clubs.
all those trips you make to 7-Eleven to buy big gulps. So anyways, we're putting this out as a public service. So don't get scammed. Don't get just pulling down apps. This is for anybody who's 60 or over. And when you watch this podcast, we tell you over and over again, Don't do anything. Don't talk on the phone. Don't talk, don't
Well,
give your information to anybody,
Or-
and
or
especially
you-
don't
or
download
you-
any apps.
yeah.
Or you sign on these apps, you look at these apps, and at the bottom, of course, it says, check here if you agree to our terms and conditions.
And in so many cases, and it goes all over so many different companies, it's like you have to go on the website, on a very basic website, if you do not want your information sold, I mean, and it's at the very bottom of most companies' web pages. I mean, it's, at everything. It's like at the bottom of American Airlines web page. It's at the bottom of, Starbucks web page. It's everything.
All right, there's a certain amount of that I can accept, but following your location around it, then
That's
selling
creepy.
it to the people who are going to charge you more money for insurance,
Yeah.
and most people that are older, say our age and older, are not reading anything.
No,
They're just
they
pressing
don't.
buttons and moving on. All right. Cheap robbery. This woman in Florida, of course. These are our Florida stories, so we're getting approaching the end of this fine episode. This woman faces felony armed robbery charge for allegedly holding up a Dairy Queen at gunpoint and making off with $1.50.
Atta girl.
And that was in the tip
I was going
jar.
to say, what are we doing?
Nobody. That just shows you how cheap it is. That Dairy Queen.
Dairy
too.
Queen.
You
Yeah,
work an
that's-
8-hour shift making Sundays for everybody.
$1.50 in tips.
And you look in the gift tip jar, there's $1.50 in there.
And you have to divide that among the whole crew.
12.
The getaway guy.
And so this woman, she was already in jail when she was booked Friday for allegedly stealing a tip jar last year, containing not even half the cost of one of the chain's iconic Blizzard treats. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. This was a lively show. We had a lot of coughing. We had Paul's audio got screwed up, but we fixed it. So it's been an event.
Yeah.
So please subscribe.
Test your producer skills.
My producer skills are freaking untouchable. By the way, you guys are no help. Oh, man. All right. So please subscribe. If you subscribe, these two miscreants will come to your house and Mike will give you a shiatsu massage and Paul will play the accordion for you. It's a real treat. And send us an email to oldpeoplethisweek@gmail.com. We love your comments. All we do is wait around all week to get them. And as I was saying earlier, and I'm going to go look for the number here again, is we now have a hotline number up for all you poor, pathetic Gen Xers, Gen Zers, and everyone else.
310-800-1830.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Allison, call me.
Oh,
Oh my God, Allison, damn me. And check out our
Yeah.
Substack. The Substack is called 52task.substack.com. It's always a treat to get people to get in touch with me. They like the Substack, so we will continue until somebody gets mean with me, and then I'll stop it.
no.
All right, thank you all. You guys have a good week. We'll see you
Yes.
soon.
And so,
Say hello to
adios.
my new mattress at some point.
Let's get those
Another story
mattresses.
for another day. Adios.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Here's the Old People This Week quote of the week. The difference between a hero and a coward is one step sideways. Gene Hackman.